What's up, Quake fans? My name is Melissa Vivian, and this is Mel's Reports. This episode, I had the opportunity to speak to two of the three co-founders of the Coleman Ave Army. They share their insights on what they hope to see from the Quakes and what they thought from this win against the LA Galaxy. So what did you guys think about the performance this past Saturday?
I was impressed. I mean, I thought after watching the LAFC match, I thought maybe it was just kind of a blip. Maybe it was just a one-off performance. But having them perform like that against the Galaxy, it felt so good just because it was like, oh, this is the Quakes we know.
Yeah, I think also on a tactical side, one thing that changed that I believe I was talking with some of the guys from the group and with my dad, who's a Quakes fan too, is that Almeida has modified his man marking style so it's less aggressive. The attackers a little bit more and not like bunkering, but becoming a little bit more compressed. And then also putting JT Marcinkowski in goal seems to be fairly huge. I mean, he's gone 3 games and he's allowed like 1 goal and 2 goals now. So he seems to be I've heard great things about him. He seems to be a very excellent goalkeeper and one, if not the best of his year. So he's definitely someone to watch. I think could be really key and continue to be key in revitalizing this team's performances this year.
Were you guys happier with what you saw, or would you still like to see some changes?
Yeah, I think my best lineup would be actually Vaco as a center attacking mid, Rios on the bench, Wando up top by himself, and Husin when he's fit up top by himself. And then I would actually put Kate Cowell on down the left wing. I think that he's demonstrated that he can perform, and I think it would be total waste to not utilize him highly, given that he's 16 and the best of his year, and he's a phenomenal talent. And then I'd hope that we would prioritize signing a left winger and a center forward as one DP, I would think, and then one like high-level TAM player to infuse our attack with more talent. I think our attacking depth and our attacking talent in general is fairly weak right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, another thing, I agree with Eli 100%. And just to add on to what he was saying, it's Almeida is he's a great manager, but he's also just extremely taxing. He demands so much of the players. And as far as the management and the ownership is gone, we're not seeing enough investment in terms of depth players for us to really succeed with a total man marking system, which is what Almeida desires. So I think hopefully within the next couple of windows, we'll be spending enough money and bringing enough new players where Almeida will be able to really implement his system in full. But we'll see.
And did this game meet your guys' expectation for El California Clásico? I feel like the other games were a little bit less intense. I feel like this one, you actually saw the players pushing and shoving.
Yeah, I agree with you that especially this year, not as intense. It didn't seem like there was a whole lot of desire on either side. And I'd say maybe some quality of play was missing this time around, but there was not a lack of passion at all. Both teams were just going for it, which was great to see.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more classic to Clásicos than a late comeback by Quakes.
What would you like to see moving forward to make sure that they secure their spot in the playoffs?
I think that the main one is new signings. We need at least 2 quality signings, and Jessica really needs to keep his promise of making 1 to 2 signings this window. And then also keeping the more flexible tactical approach, I think, would be conducive to picking up more points, especially when we go on the road to Seattle, for example. We can't be going up there with insane pressing man marking and expect anything less than another thrashing.
So I think that trying new things, if things aren't working out, is truly important, no matter how little time we have left to qualify. I think that this is a team that can really get stuck in ruts and also get really hot and really streaky. But I think that to avoid those ruts when things start going wrong, I think we need to keep switching things up until we find the right combination.
San Jose hasn't faced the Vancouver Whitecaps yet, and that is the next game. What do you guys predict for this game, or what would you like to see? Like, what do you expect to see?
Honestly, I expect to see a little more of the same. I think that Vancouver is a team that's very similar to us in a lot of respects, but I think that we have more momentum than they do at this moment. I'm hoping to see I want to see Cowell start against them, just because I think his pace could really exploit their slower back line. But he hasn't started in a few games, so we'll see if Almeida decides to start him or not. But either way, I'm feeling pretty confident going into the match.
As long as we stay tactically compact, they have basically demonstrated that they can't do much to break us down. At least last season, they were fairly inept. I think we actually went up to Vancouver and totally played them off the pitch. I think there have been a decent amount of goals in the recent games against them, so I wouldn't be surprised if we concede once or twice. But I think our attack will start clicking better, and I think we'll get a score victory.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow as the Quakes will take on the Vancouver Whitecaps for the first time this season. A special thanks to Sam and Eli for taking the time to share their insights with me. Make sure to tune in to my next episode as I will be talking to them one more time, discussing Coleman Ave Army and what you can do to join the group. Y eso es todo. My name's Melissa Vivian, and like always, go Quakes!